Play some music.
Play some music? Yeah, we're live now. Now you're telling me to play the music when we're already bloody live.
Yeah, let's do it. Cue the music.
I'm glad if I find something. I'll tell you what, I'll wait until you're in the middle of talking and then I'll play some music. How does that sound? I knew you were.
Oh, that's so much better. Oh, wow. That is. What do you think? I think.
Oh, Lee, I keep forgetting that Lee has.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not dumb.
Oh,
I have the power now. I have the power.
Yep. And you know, I signed in on American Hammer's account as well, so I've got the power too.
That's true.
That's true. You do. It's mutually assured destruction, is what it is.
Hey, Lee, we can talk as much as we want. I just muted Tim.
This is great.
We'll just spend an hour muting each other and unmuting each other and see who can get who's quicker on the trigger.
It's a great start to the show.
Good morning, Neil, and good evening, everybody else. Thanks for popping in, Neil. It's always nice to see you. And
Neil, do you have a life, mate?
He was actually there for the 2:00 Eastern time show for the West Ham. No, what is it called? We are. Jeez, I'm butchering this today. I'm so tired.
We're the girls in Claret and Blue.
We are the girls in Claret and Blue show with Reese and Ellie. It was awesome today. Actually, they're starting to really click. It's really cool. They're actually
probably the best show we have. Allie is amazing. The fact that she goes to every match.
I like Allie.
She does. No, I love Allie. I think she's fantastic. I'm a big fan.
I don't love her. I've got a wife for that, but I mean, I like her.
You know what, Ray? She doesn't go your way anyway, buddy.
Well, no, I know that, but that's never stopped me.
Oh, really? Is that right?
All right, gentlemen.
Or stud.
So this is the.
We don't have a
Gabe, what's going on, Gabe? So this is the OG debate with the three of us. We are the original hosts of the show.
The original gangsters. We should start off with a rap.
Yeah.
Yo.
So we're gonna run through, I think, about 4 or 5 topics tops, and we'll give our opinions on them, and hopefully you give a shit. So
hopefully somebody else shows up, because I think Gabe just left.
Gabe left. He just pulled the screen up and went, "Oh, look, it's Tim. Oh, look, it's Lee." Like that fat bald git from England. I'm off. I'm gone.
I did the what's his name, Roberto on him, and I'm like, "Hi, Gabe."
Oh yeah,
he left. Yeah, Flappy Hansky. So let's get into what we were recently talking about. Let's get into off the air, VAR and the bullshit that's been going on lately. Is it working? Is it really working? I mean, even though I know, Lee, you said this off the air that you feel that it's true to the rule, or the way it says it is, but do you think the rules suck?
The rules are written wrong.
Oh, okay, let's back up for a second. You're talking about the Josh King.
No, I'm not talking about anything in particular. I'm talking about VAR, and so far this season,
in general,
all the bullshit calls that's been going on. The fact that we didn't even get VAR for Allaire's penalty back at the was it Norwich match, stuff like that. Like the rules.
Norwich.
Norwich. I don't think it's working. No, I don't think it's working because I don't think the officials understand how to use it. I don't think the referees know the rules in some cases. I keep going back to last season when Tottenham scored the goal in Champions League that came off of what's his name's hand, the French guy came off of his hand. There was an angle the ref just never saw, but it was very clear from that angle that it came off his hand. You go to Allaire, should have had a penalty against Norwich. That was very clear to me. Those are at least 2 examples. And I know around the Premier League and around the world of global football, there have been other examples. I've watched a lot of Mexican games lately. They come on late at night, like Saturday, Sundays. I stay up and watch them. You see it all the time, not working there either.
It's well with the taco Mexican game. It really does. I like it.
The Mexican games are great, actually. It's not working because the people in charge of it are not using it correctly. The technology is just technology. It's just cameras and replay.
Well, that's the thing that worried me all along, and that's what I said right from the get-go. It's like, if you give a chimpanzee a remote control, what they're going to do?
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah. He's going to look like Roberto.
So then who is the Mike Dean of the VAR officials? Like, who are these VAR officials? Who are they? who's the ones? I mean, who are the people looking at the footage? Who are the ones making the decisions? And who's making the fucking rules?
I don't know. Who does make the decision?
Who are these people?
Who does that?
I've got no clue.
Who
That's
says
the other thing. That's the other
not
thing I don't
we're
like
not even
about
looking
it.
at it. The Allaire thing.
Yeah.
Who says we're not even looking at it?
That's what I don't like about it. There's no accountability. It's like, I mean, you'll hear when you hear a broadcast, they'll say, "Oh, and so Joe Blow is in charge of VAR today." But I mean, I want to see what it looks like. So when I meet him on the tube, I can go up to him and push him underneath a train that's coming. That's what I want.
In the Mexican games, the referee goes over and looks at it himself, right?
Yes. Well, it's MLS too.
Yeah, he just goes.
I can't believe I just.
Well, it worked the same way in the.
Said that I know that.
Sorry to mention all these terrible tournaments, but it worked the same way in the Gold Cup. You know, this is what the NFL did for a long time. I haven't really watched the NFL much anymore, but the referee just goes over and he looks at it himself. So at least you have a consistent person making a good or bad. I sort of like that model better than it going to like the league office, wherever it is. You know, that's how they do it now in the NHL. They send it to Toronto.
So long as it's after Mike Dean retires, yes.
Well, Mike Dean clearly has it out for us. I mean, I believe that.
I don't believe Mike Dean has it out for us. I believe that Mike Dean is just a see you next Tuesday. And I think that Mike Dean just wants to be the star of every freaking game that he officiates in. I mean, just the way he does things. Yeah. You know, the whole everything's very, very prominent and definite. Mike Dean's he's a complete.
I looked at.
Isn't he a big supporter of some club?
Tranmere, yeah.
Tranmere Rovers.
Yeah. So I looked at the program that I got to give to Lee from the relegated season. It was from the last home game of the season. It had all the results leading up to that point. I know we didn't win many matches that year at all, but every single match that Mike Dean reffed, the majority of them we lost, and then the other ones were draws. And I think he did like 6 or 7 matches for us that season, and that's just like one brief sample of. I guarantee if you go ahead and look up on, I think there's some websites out there like transfermarket.com or something like that, where you can actually see the different, his results from different matches for his career. Pretty sure you'll see that it's never usually favorable to West Ham.
As Neil says.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I
love that.
Our record with him is astonishingly bad. It's not at all statistically sort of what it should be, right? I mean, everything should.
It can't be a coincidence, man.
No, it can't. I'm not saying it can't be a coincidence. At some point, it can't be. No, I do think
paid. He's being paid to be. It's like reality TV. It's not reality.
No, that's true. It's not.
And and so I am a big believer that some of the refs are just out there to stir up shit and make it a story.
Well, I think he does love himself. I think he loves being in the spotlight. I don't know that he hates West Ham per se, but our record with him is much worse than any club's record should be with any referee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that much. It's not. It can't be a coincidence at some point. So yeah, and yes, I do remember that. Of course, we were woeful that season anyway, but yeah, I remember a lot of talk about how he was in charge of all the many of the matches we lost, and we didn't win a single one with him. I mean, what can you do? There's nothing.
Well, I know, but going back to VAR though, I mean, it's helped us out this season so far.
Of course, it has. We had 2 points from Brighton that we would have lost if it hadn't been for VAR. Yeah. It has helped us out. Historically, we have been screwed by officials. We know what happened last season. We probably lost between 5 and 8 points last season because of bad calls. So, I mean, we might have potentially sort of been in Europe maybe last season if we hadn't, if we'd had VAR, maybe, So I've always said that it was something that could help us because we seem to be on the worst, on the negative end of all these calls. And there's even, I've seen in the past, like league tables of which clubs are most affected by bad referee decisions, and we're always at the top, which means we're really at the bottom, if you know what I mean. We have it worse than anybody else. But the only thing I don't like about VAR is first of all, I don't know that it's working. I really don't. Because again, the referees don't understand how to apply it, and they're getting the decisions wrong, even if they watch them again and again, they still get them wrong. But it also sucks the drama out of the game. It really does.
It does. Well, they could fix that, Lee, if they want to. I mean, put a time limit on how long it takes you to make a call on something.
Yeah, I agree. But
say,
I mean,
okay,
yeah.
say if someone scores a goal and you haven't got up and but pointed your headset or done the stupid square box thing within 10 seconds, then I'm sorry, you've just missed the freaking boat.
Yeah, I agree.
Put a time limit on it. Let the supporters celebrate the freaking goals.
Well, that's the thing is I hate the fact that now if there's a goal scored, everybody's. I mean, we still celebrate because it's what we do as fans and we're used to it. But it won't be long. I'm telling you, it won't be long before it'll be like the NFL where you're looking around for a flag before you cheer.
Exactly.
And all the players are turning to the referee like, oh, let's put it on VAR, see if it was offside. They always play it anyway.
That's going to kill the game.
It's going to kill the game. It won't be long before the drama of a goal scored or conceded will just go away because we'll all have to sit around and wait. Oh, wait, let's see if it was really a goal. That's what I don't like. That's what I see. That's where
it's just another step by the bourgeoisie class to take away the game of the proletariat.
I'm sorry.
No, seriously, it seriously is. I mean, look at the gentrification of football in the past 15 years since the Premier League. It's got away from they don't give a crap about the little supporters anymore that have been going to the matches for 40, 50 years. They really don't. It's all about, we've seen this model that works in the United States where they charge an absolute fortune for tickets and people have these wonderful mega suites and we can do so much better than that. Every stadium that's built is geared towards that now. It's geared towards that and the little family section that gives them no trouble and eats lots of popcorn and nachos.
That's why players are so expensive, though. I mean, that's the way it is with across the world, like all these other sports, too. Like, how are these clubs supposed to afford these players if they don't, try to get as many fans as possible across the world? They try to grow globally and say, you know what, we need more money from more places.
But how does having that executive box pull Mike Hardcastle from down here in Austin? How does it get him enthralled and in love with the team? It doesn't, does it? What makes him love the team is a feeling of like, I like the tradition, I like the history of the team, I like the colors of the team. Okay, that's what it's all. It's about. It's not about growing the global brand so much as it's about making a shit ton load of money off of the minority that can afford to pay for those pleasurable seats.
Yeah, it's funny.
And the comfortable experience.
Quite a long time ago, about 25 years ago, there was an article in Sports Illustrated on this. I think it was the 40th anniversary of Sports Illustrated, which was like 1994. And it was a retrospective of where sports had gone from 1954 to 1994. One of the big things it talked about was how sporting events in the U.S. in particular, it's American Magazine, obviously, became business meetings, really. They went from being places where you went to relax, have a good time, cheer for your team, whatever, to a place where you went to sit in a suite, make a business deal, shake hands, network. And I think you're seeing that coming across into Europe, too, and into England.
Yeah.
Whereas it used to be a blue-collar game. The old song that Rangers fans sing in Scotland, every other Saturday. I think it's every other Saturday I go to watch the Rangers score, because they were like guys who worked, 6.5 days a week. And then they got half a day on Saturday to go down and watch the game. And they, you put your 50p in or whatever, you go cram into the ground and watch. And it's those kinds of fans are very much being priced out of the market now. It happened in this country again 25, 30 years ago. Now you're seeing it in England. It's the same effect though. Luxury suites, huge expensive stadiums, crazy ticket prices, and look at the prices of the players. I mean, we did our top 10 worst signings show. What was it, last night or Monday?
It was on Monday.
I think it was on Monday. And when we talked about some of the guys we signed, I mean, Savio, who was probably our worst signing ever. How much did we pay for him? $3.5 million, $4 million, something like that. That was a huge amount of money at the time. A huge amount of money. 15 years ago. Now, I mean, you can't get a central defender for that, and you can't get anybody for that. You can't get a backup keeper for that because you have these big clubs like Real Madrid and PSG and the Manchester City, and their pricing everybody else out of the market. So it's the money that's flowing into the game is oddly enough good for us because it means we get NBC Sports. We get NBC Sports every Saturday. We get to watch the games live, and we get streams and everything else. And we have, right, yeah. We have all these American fans who can watch because this money is there, because it's a globally popular sport, which it wasn't 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But on the other hand, it's killing the essence of it. It's killing the reason we love the game, which is the fans.
Yeah.
Here we go. Matt said, that's what I'm talking about. This was like, if I'm not mistaken, pretty close to a record signing at the time. I mean, not an eternity ago. And you just can't. I mean, that doesn't get you anybody now.
Well, I remember the first minute. Oh, hello.
What happened?
I don't know, but I'm getting an echo on everything.
Let's not gonna mute his ass. Shit. Can I just remove you? Damn. So, to put into perspective, the guy that we were talking about off the air, the Budgie Byrne guy, back in 1962, Ron Greenwood paid his second division British record transfer fee of £65,000.
Right.
£65,000.
And that was 1962. Okay, I'm going to look this up.
1962. And that was a second division record back then.
Right. And how much you say it was?
£65,000.
£65,000. Okay.
Well, actually, it says right here that it was actually $58,000 plus an ex-Palace striker, Ron Brett, who was valued at £7,000. So technically £65,000.
Yeah. Well, I haven't.
Are you good, Wayne? Are you good?
I haven't done this in pounds. I've done this in dollars, and maybe it's completely different. But if you calculate the inflation, dollar inflation from 1962 to 2019, £65,000 today is $552,000. I mean, $65,000 today is $552,000, which you can't get a player for that. You can't get anything for that. You can't get a reserve player.
No way.
You know what I mean?
That's less than like a salary. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's and if you go back 10 years, 15 years, the record transfers were, 8 and 10 million pounds. What we pay for Allaire, 45 million, I think. And we're not even close. We can't even touch what Pogba went for, or Neymar, or any of the really, really big names.
Gareth Bale.
Stupid guy Manchester United bought from Leicester. The defender. Can't think
exactly.
Harry Maguire.
What's his name?
Harry Maguire. What do you cost? 90 million pounds or something like that?
Ridiculous,
That's
but
crazy.
But they were talking. Manchester United was talking about paying that for, or we were asking for that for Declan.
Right. They were robbed.
There you go.
It's totally nuts. What is that?
Oh boy. Let's shift topics before we're already 20 minutes in. We've only discussed VAR.
Yeah, come on, 20 minutes in and we haven't talked about how shit Tottenham was this week. Come on.
That was bad.
I was thinking I usually have a Diet Dr. Pepper with lunch, but today,
so
7-Up.
So they lost in the cup, and we all laughed at them, and then we lost 4-0. We lost even worse,
Well, right. I get it. I mean, okay.
So now they got smacked 7-2 or 7 whatever.
7-2. But Bayern scored a touchdown on them. The extra
point
was beautiful.
So I guess that means now that we're all laughing at them, then we're gonna get smacked by Palace on Saturday, or
yeah, more than likely. That's just the way it is, right?
That was going to happen anyway. That was
James Tompkins header.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen whether we laugh at him or not. That's going to happen. By the way, in case you wanted to know, £65,000 in 1962, 1.3 million pounds today. £65,000 in 1962, 1.3 million pounds today. Again, you can't get
today. But still, yeah,
you can't do that. It's still nothing. Yeah, of course we'll get talked by Palace. Of course we will. That goes without saying. But that's just because we're West Ham. That's not because of Tottenham.
No, we're going to win 3-1 on Saturday.
I kind of like our chances. I thought we fought back well against Bournemouth in a match that we would have absolutely lost in any of the last 3 seasons.
2 goals being scored by Tompkins.
Yeah, man. Listen, they need to start playing him if they want to start winning games, man. I mean, he was out with an injury for a little while, but then he's been back on the bench, and they've been losing.
This is something I think we could debate. I think we could debate this.
So
Tottenham, they lose 7-2 at home in Champions League.
Ooh, yeah.
We get to laugh at that. All right, now let me ask you that. Let me say that. Of course, I laughed at it. But let me just say this: we've never played in Champions League.
That's what I'm saying. How can we laugh at a Champions League defeat?
What I mean, if we
why not? It's Tottenham.
Well,
that's what we're supposed to do.
As much as I hate them, I mean, we get fucking destroyed by Bayern too.
But we're not going to play them.
If we play Bayern at the Olympic Stadium next week,
excuse me,
think we do any better? I mean, I don't know that we do any better. We'd probably give up.
I think we would. In all seriousness, even with Flappy Hansky out and real Flappy Hansky in, I still think we do better than what Tottenham did.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's the thing, and I don't want to ever defend Tottenham. It's
like
they had the chance to do it, and we've never had the chance to do it. You know what I mean? So it's a little hard. It's a little hard to laugh. You can laugh at them when they lose in the league.
Oh, I would laugh at them every day of the week. It's just
I'm not so much laughing at them.
Last time I laughed at them, we lost.
Right. We got tonked in the very same competition.
We're always going to lose at some point, aren't we? It's going to happen.
Yeah, well, frequently, yes.
I just think that it was glorious today when in my new job I walked past the cube of a Tottenham supporter. He was a very nice chap, and I just walked past and I just lingered for a second and looked at him, and he just went like this, and I cried with laughter. I cried with laughter.
It is shocking. I've shared a moment of bonding with an Arsenal fan at work today. We had a laugh at Tottenham together, so that was kind of nice. You know what I mean? That was nice. Of course we enjoy it. We laugh at it. I keep in the back of my mind that we laughed at them when they lost the Champions League final, but they were in the Champions League final. You know, I mean,
shouldn't have been.
No, they shouldn't have been. You're right. But I again, laugh at them, sure, but I don't know.
So let's get into the next topic. The next topic is basically there's been a lot of other shows, podcasts even. I listen to as many as I possibly can in a week's time, and I don't know how I possibly do it, but I do.
You don't work, Tim. You stand around. You don't work.
No. I work my body. That's why I'm so exhausted.
It's a real job. He doesn't do what I do, which is like sit at a computer all day.
I sling an average of 70,000 pounds of tile every day and palletize them by hand, and it gets heavy after a while. So anyway, the talk has been, what's up with this? The cup, the League Cup, and all the big clubs putting in their B sides. You know what I mean? The B teams,
which they have for a long time, which they have for years.
And is it even worth it anymore? I mean,
it's not. It's never been worth it.
Cup, the League Cup.
Even when it was the Milk Cup, it wasn't worth it.
Then why do we still have? Why don't we scrap it? Because it's not.
British people don't like to move forward.
You can't say monetary value at all because it's not even fully televised.
Because 10, 15 years ago, it was a cup that the big teams didn't give a crap about. Now that the big teams have won all of the major cups, now it's all about doing the double, doing the treble. So that's what it's all about for them now. So that's why.
Though. I mean, there's so many teams that are putting out their B teams.
They always.
If they give a shit, they put out their big. The
B team of Manchester City is better than most people's A team.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, they couldn't do anything other than put out a B team.
Other than them. I mean, you tell me Man United's B team is any good? We beat them.
Well, Man United's a C team these days, let's be honest here.
Same with Chelsea. You think Chelsea's B team could do any good? You think...
only if it had Lampard playing with them.
Or Arsenal. I mean, Man City's the exception. You know what I mean? When it comes down to...
I think what they need to do... There was somebody that suggested on Twitter this last week about... If you qualify for Europe, if you're in the Champions League, then you should automatically not be allowed to go into the League Cup. End of story. Because quite frankly, it would do a couple of good things. First of all, it would stop the teams that are going into Champions League from fielding these B sides. It would open up the cup to people who could possibly win a championship that wouldn't have a shot at it because there's all of these Champions League teams that are winning it now.
Yeah,
okay.
want to win it at that point? I mean, you talk about
Yes, you do.
yeah,
You'll want a shot at it, which is why when they talked about a Super League for Europe, bloody go do it.
oh, that's
Take
true.
your,
I'm right
take your
on
Man
that.
City,
That's
take those 4 big
I'm with
teams.
you on that. I don't care about
Sod off and go play, and then when that league falls, come back begging us.
absolutely right. I feel the same way. Let them go. You know what? I've always felt that with the Super Leagues, the church been talking about that for 20 years now, and I felt the same way the whole time. Go play.
That's why they'll never do it, because
play.
they know they can't sustain it.
Right. Well, go get relegated. Tottenham. Go play in your Super League and finish like 14th out of 14 and get relegated back to wherever you would go because you get tonked by Bayern 7-2 every week.
Yeah.
They don't want that. They love beating, Southampton and Newcastle and West Ham and all these other, mid-table, lower-table clubs. They love that stuff. But the League Cup, if you take the top clubs out, I mean, it really, really diminishes whatever accomplishment it ever was to begin with. It becomes like one of those EFL trophies. They have the lower league cup trophies you can win if you're like not in the Premier League.
But it's already that.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? I mean,
It's been there for donkey's years.
I know it has. But if even beating Manchester City's B team and Manchester United's B team, at least you beat a club full of guys running around with the badge on their shirts.
But they're not beating them, are they? Let's face it, because the money disparity is so grandiose now that there's another French word for you. Blimey, I'm good with the French tonight, aren't I? Drake. Cheers.
No, you're right. They're not beating them. And well, the other thing that the big clubs do is they get along with their reserves, until like the quarterfinals or semifinals, and then they start peppering in those top players. You know what I mean? And you'll see in the finals, they'll have 7 or 8 of their top players in the starting 11. Like it's they want to win when they get down to it.
Once they get down to it. But again, so out of all the champions of this fucking League Cup, how many of them were the small boys?
I can't remember the last. I mean, I remember Manchester City losing the FA Cup final to
15 years.
You said League Cup. I'm sorry, Patrick. I'm talking League Cup, man.
I know
somebody outside the top 4 hasn't won the League Cup in 15 years.
Who was it?
That's not top 4. But I'm talking about not in the first division.
Nobody.
Oh, I don't
There
think.
you go.
I don't think this happened in. Yeah, I mean, the last time it happened in either cup was us in 1980. But in the League Cup, I have no idea. Yeah,
It's the same thing, isn't it? Really, the same thing as Europa Cup. It's like nobody really gives a crap. It's a nice opportunity to get a couple of foreign teams in and maybe go on a trip abroad.
Yeah,
but quite frankly, living over here in the States, I'd rather be Champions League or not get the Europa. Because Europa just it puts added pressure on the team. We don't have the money to add the depth.
That's all it is.
And you play shit teams in shit stadiums.
And you lose.
It's an elongated consolation match, but it's just a consolation season. It's
the NIT. If you
second
best.
call it 100%. So
the NIT. It's all it is. It's nobody cares who wins.
So one argument would be that it gives fans another opportunity to see your favorite team play against other European teams in some sort of competition. Okay, but other than that, what else? I mean,
you know what though? Let me just say this. I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. Remember when Fulham were in the European Cup? Not the Europa Cup final. I think it was still UEFA Cup at the time. Fulham were in the UEFA Cup final. You think that wasn't the greatest day in the history of Fulham Football Club?
No, it was.
They lost. I mean, if we went to the Europa League final, you think that wouldn't be like the greatest day one of the 3 or 4 greatest days in the history of West Ham in 125 years?
Oh, it would be, and you know why it would be?
Well, because it'd be a day out.
You know why? No, because it gives you entrance into the Champions League.
Well, but it's also, I mean, a European final. Are you kidding me? If we were in a European final, we'd be out of our heads.
We're in any final.
I think most of us, and also most of the West Ham supporters in general, in all these other YouTube shows, podcasts that are West Ham related that I was listening to, that we're all smashing the whole relevancy of the the Carabao Cup. It has to do with we're all bitter.
Yeah, we're all bitter.
Our team doesn't our team doesn't give a shit about it. The manager doesn't give a shit about it. The players don't give a shit about it. The owners don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, the ones who win the old Milk Cup or win the Europa Cup, they don't say it's Mickey Mouse, do they? They celebrate it.
They
Yeah,
celebrate.
we slag it off because we're not in it.
You've hit the nail on the head there. You really have, Tim. Let's be honest here. It's true.
Yes.
I mean, I would have loved to have won that cup, even though it's a Mickey Mouse Cup and it's it's a bull on a can of beer, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's or whatever it is. I would still love to have seen us win a bloody cup.
What is the biggest day we've had as West Ham fans in the last decade? It was the playoff final, and maybe
Seriously.
I
we
mean-
didn't even come in first in the championship.
a third place trophy in the second division, and it's the best day we've had as West Ham fans since probably the FA Cup final, which we lost in 2006. So what I'm saying is a League Cup final on a Tuesday night in February, whatever it is. Yeah, that would be amazing. I would like to be in it one of these days.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to be in a cup final.
I want to win all of them.
I want to win all of them, but I don't care which one it is. I want to win a trophy. Again, the stupid playoff final. My greatest day as a West Ham fan was us finishing third in the championship.
Yeah.
It's better to win the League Cup than to do that. So let's give it a run. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Not this year, obviously, but not this season. But
I just want to cup runs because I want to go down McSwiggan's Irish pub in the colony, and I want to go with a bunch of claret and blue balloons and some streamers and shit, and decorate the place and get completely blasted out of my bleeding mind. Totally utterly blasted, whether we win or lose, and just have all my mates around me and just know that we were competing in something.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not about the fans. This is what you were talking about earlier. The League Cup, the manager doesn't care about it. The owners don't care about it because they can't make enough money off of it. There's no TV rights.
Though, I mean, we talked about this before, and I've talked about it without you, Lee, and everything else. Is it that the owners just, like you said, they don't want to spend the money, but they're basically telling Pellegrini, man, you don't advance. Like
Right.
It happens all over the world, dude. There's teams all the time that say, listen, we don't want to pay for the travel.
Right.
Let's just end it now while we can.
Return for their investment, right?
I don't.
That's more players' wages that they have to do, more bonuses they have to hand out, and everything else.
I don't think they wanted us in Europe last season. I don't think they wanted us in Europe.
No, that was obvious. It wasn't a conspiracy
Every time we
theory.
got close,
It was so blatant. Yeah.
I don't think the players wanted it in Europe last season.
I don't think the players wanted it either, Wayne. I think that.
No, that's exactly what it is. I don't think they did. I think regardless of what the team says, I don't think the players want those extra games in those cruddy grounds with freezing cold freaking changing rooms and concrete floors and bad showers and.
Wants to go to Lithuania in July, and take out
in July in Lithuania.
Well, I'm sure it is, but nobody wants to quit their holidays.
Once you get used to the girls with the mustaches,
right? And go to Vilnius in July to play, some, club from a 12th tier league in Europe. I mean, nobody wants that. The players don't want to do that. The managers doesn't want to do that. The players don't want to pay the money to go. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to advance. I mean, unless you really make a run, and then you have to make a real commitment to it, and then you see a lot of clubs, our size that advance in the in the Europa League, and then they struggle in the league because you can't manage both. We really.
But we did get European glory
in the Intertoto Cup.
Yeah, the Consolation Cup.
Yeah, I mean, Matt says in the chat there, why wouldn't we give a toss? Or why wouldn't we give a toss the League Cup when it's our best chance of silverware?
I agree.
Well, we just said, at the same time, it's we as supporters, 100%. And the players should give a shit,
but they don't
about any competition. I mean, you play to win the game.
Right. Thank you very much.
That's the way it should be. It's not the way it is nowadays. I mean, these players, there's ulterior motives. There's someone overhead saying, "Oh boy, I kind of don't want to have to pay you guys," and maybe we'll send you out there. We'll pay your wages, but we're not going to put you in the swank hotel where we're going to give you the Motel 6 instead. To make it uncomfortable for you. So you really want to do it? You really want to go? I mean, I don't know what they're thinking, man. It's just they got to be saying something. They got to be thinking something, because there's no reason why our team, even our B team, couldn't have fucking destroyed Oxford.
And you know what?
Couldn't have absolutely just destroy them 7-2.
We're not threatening relegation right now, right? I mean, we'll see with Fabianski out what happens, but we're not battling relegation at the moment.
The sad thing is,
we don't look like a club that's going to have to fight to survive this season, so we have to focus on the league in order to stay in the league. it looks as though we're going to be, at least solidly mid-table like last season. Well, there's no excuse for not going after a trophy, except that it doesn't pay enough or it's not prestigious enough. If the fans want to go for it, I think that much is obvious. The players
You can't even win the Betway Cup.
the players are ambivalent, managers are ambivalent, I think, and the owners don't care at all. I think they as long as they get the Premier League TV money and they stay in the Premier, they finish as high in the league as possible to get more money.
I would be interested to see what Golden Sullivan would prefer, because I mean, if you ask any regular West Ham fan, do you want top 4 finish or a top 6 finish or an FA Cup? It's hands down, it's an FA Cup.
Every time.
I'd be very, very interested to see what Golden Sullivan would really say, or even what their investment person would say is best for.
They want a top 4 finish because top 6 isn't. Top 6 isn't because then if it's top 6, I got to go pay to go to Moldova in July. They want a top 4 finish because that's massive money that comes in for Champions League. That's and again, Europa League. Gabe is right. Europa League is a drain on these clubs. And Saint Etienne are struggling big time this season, trying to play Europa League and the French League, and they're not succeeding in either one.
That's their fucking job. Why is it such a pain? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's a wear on your body. Let's be honest. You travel and everything. It's a wear on your body.
Fucking what? But look at their bodies, man. These people. That's what they're paid to do. They're fit. These people are. That's what they're trained to do. They can handle. We couldn't handle that. Absolutely.
Oh,
not.
I don't know. If it was a Europa Cup in drinking, I think I'd have a good shot.
But I'm telling you, like that's their gig.
All the time with Europa Cup, you see it all the time with clubs struggling in the league because they're trying to balance both cups, both competitions, and they can't.
But that has a lot to do with the manager too, like figuring out how to manage that, what players to
and the depth
to rest and whatnot. And they usually fuck it up.
I think the most important thing is, Ray, did you have any decent skirt in the bar tonight?
Yeah, let us
That's
know.
more important than us winning a League Cup or a Europa Cup, because we're talking cotton candy time here. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
This is an honest comment by Ray, though, and I think that's how the owners feel, and they'll give lip service to the FA Cup, but they want to finish top 4 because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
And let's face it, let's not forget, if you finish top 4, then you can go to some of those higher tier players and say, "Hey, we're in Champions League. Want to sign for us?"
So, is it a fault then of every West Ham United supporter that when they're asked what you prefer, a top 4 finish or an FA Cup, and they turn around and say FA Cup?
Because they want the physical, they want the hardware. That's what they always back it up.
But should we be more ambitious? Should we have more belief in ourselves and say, you know what?
Yes.
Screw the FA Cup. I want a top 4 finish. I want to compete in the Champions League every year, and I don't care about that hunk of metal.
I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think both fly, man.
Porque no los dos. It's both. It is. It's both. We want both.
That wasn't French, Lee.
Hey, that's a little Espanol for you, my friend. I'm legalizing over here.
You deleted that French banner, didn't you? I couldn't find it the other day when I was.
Did I delete it?
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
Oh, it was mean though. It said the French are shite.
Yeah.
And I was like, after I put it, I was like, that's mean. I could recreate it just for tonight,
So, hello Ray, hello PJ. Thanks for popping in. And
who's in the room?
Also, Matt Gregory from Chicago is in, and let's just ask his question since I don't even know if he's left already or not. But so basically, it was the Mark Noble question. Where is it? I had it. The fuck, man. All right, true or false? Okay. True or false? Mark Noble is the greatest West Ham United captain in the Premier League era, and the third best of all time.
Billy Bond's the best captain.
Premier League era. So okay, so that's
no, of all time.
Of all time. Okay, so of all time, yeah.
How about
best
Bobby Moore?
Of all time. Who?
How was Bobby Moore the best captain of all time?
Number 2.
Okay, fair.
So you're saying Noble's third? That's basically what he's saying. True or false? Noble's third of all time, best in the Premier League era.
It sticks in my head more right now because we're in it. So yeah.
I mean,
no Matty Epson, no Scotty Parker.
Scotty Parker comes close.
I know I'm going to say Scotty Parker. However, I don't know. Yeah, I think Scotty Parker was a better captain. Okay, I do. Sorry, I do. He's a better player. He had more credibility as a player. But I love Noble. I do. I love him.
I just love his heart. I just love the way he affects play on the pitch. And when you're a captain, I think that's what you have to do. You may not be the most talented person on the team, but it's your job to do something to affect an outcome. And whether that means doing something drastically stupid, like going in with a studs up tackle that will just get everyone riled up, or whether it means just going over to your fellow teammate and saying, "Pull your effing socks up. You need to get this." And I think Mark Noble excels at that. He knows just when to turn it on, and he knows just when to turn it off.
We've seen that firsthand this season. This season especially when we didn't have him.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was. We didn't know who.
He's been in this season.
We tried a couple different people, and it failed miserably.
Did you see the last match though? And I'm sorry, Lee, this will be the last time I interrupt you. Did you see how Declan Rice is learning from Mark Noble? I mean, the last match he was going off at people. See, he's learning from playing with Mark Noble in that respect. He's not learning phenomenal skills like he would do if he was somewhere else, because the kid's phenomenally skilled anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's learning how to handle himself personnel-wise on the field, and Mark Noble's training him to be a captain.
Yeah, he is. Hopefully for us.
I don't think he'll leave us. I got this feeling that Declan Rice is going to be one of those kids that, because he's shown such loyalty in the past to teams that he's played for, like Ireland. Yeah. I don't think he's going to leave us.
You know what? Okay, now listen. Now go back to what we were discussing before. If we make Champions League, he stays, right? I mean, he's more likely to stay if we finish top 4 than if we win the FA Cup. You have to think about.
I don't think we'd have many people leave at all if we're a Champions League contender. Well, look at Tottenham. Hardly anyone's leaving Tottenham, and that's a toilet.
That's what I'm saying.
It's even shaped like a toilet.
Yes, it is. If you win the FA Cup, it's fantastic for the fans. If you win the FA Cup and finish 10th, you're going to lose players to Champions League sides. If you finish top 4 and don't win a trophy, you're going to be able to recruit more players and keep the players you already have who just finished in the top 4. There's an argument for, focusing on the league almost exclusively if you're a club like ours, except that we'll never finish top 4. But I mean, there's an argument for trying.
I think we've got a good shot at it this year. I really do. I feel good about it, and even with the business with Fabianski, which is gut-wrenchingly painful.
Let's give him a shot. Everybody had a bad night against Oxford, right? Everybody had a bad night. Roberto made a great save off of Wilson in Bournemouth to preserve the draw. Adrian stepped in the same way, right? Adrian stepped in. He was, was it UC's backup, I think? Is that right? Anyway, he stepped in, and he was great, and we cast him aside for Joe Hart. Joe Hart was terrible, and then, we brought him back again. and now he's friggin' starting for the European champions.
Yeah, but look at that faux pas he made. He was so Adrian.
It is and he's limited, but even so, maybe Roberto steps in and he's good.
I would say maybe not.
Ow.
Yeah, just looking at him and looking how he holds himself. Did you not watch how many? I mean, he can't even kick the fucking ball, let alone touch it.
That's the first thing.
He can't.
As soon as he went in there, he did that goal kick, and he kicked it directly into half a dozen freaking players of the opposing side.
I know, and out of bounds as well. I mean, what the fuck, dude?
He's nervous. Poor kid's nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
Nervous?
He didn't have a taco or something. I don't know. Poor kid. Yeah, he's a kid. Well, I'm 55. Everyone's a bleeding kid.
Experience, at this top level in España, whatever. And, really?
I'm giving him a chance. Well, let's face it, we've got no choice. We're going to, as much as his dad was a wonderful player for West Ham, you're going to put Mr. Martin out there?
Yeah, I would, absolutely.
Have you seen him playing goal?
I've seen him play for Millwall, yeah.
No, he's really bad. No, he's really bad. No.
How whoa.
No.
How do you know he's really bad? How?
From what I've seen, he's really bad. I mean, have you not seen him play? Wait, have you not watched him? At least watch some.
I've watched half a dozen times because I like watching Millwall. Whenever I get a chance to catch Millwall, I just like watching them suffer.
Right.
So, and quite honestly, I think a lot of time Mr. Martin was the reason for their suffering.
He looks more fundamentally not awkward, unawkward, whatever the word is.
He doesn't do this a lot with his hands.
Roberto, Jesus Christ, he was going like, "Why?" And he made a save just by doing a little sidestep, and he got lucky, Roberto. So no, David Martin seems like a normal human being, and
Can we bring Trot back?
No. Why would you bring somebody from a League One team who has not been up to this level, not even in championship level?
Well,
you do that in the MLS.
We need
you and everybody else says recall Trot. What?
Do we have a backup at this point?
Yeah, it's Martin.
David Martin, dude. David Martin has at least championship experience.
I'll call it right now. If Roberto gets injured, there'll be somebody writing a letter to the FA immediately saying, "Please, could you give us extenuating circumstances so we can sign another goalie, please? And we will pay whatever money is available to get whatever the piece of crap that's out there."
How about this? How about we play some defense? How about that?
No.
How about we just play some defense, like tighten our defense up, get some defensive coaches in here. You know what? Sam Allardyce is looking for a job. Why don't we sign him as a defensive coach and tighten up our defense, or at least sign two more.
He's going to be working for Manchester United next week. He'll be signed for Manchester United.
Please let that happen. Oh man, please let that happen.
Let's bring Robert Green back and teach Roberto how to fucking play goalkeeper, like we did with Teddy Sheringham when he did that. He was just the attacking specialist coach.
Actually, that's a better idea.
We should, because obviously Roberto has never learned how to play goalkeeper.
You'd bring Robert Green back to do that. Kitty cat man.
He was hammering.
Dude, the guy's club legend. What are you talking about, man?
But that screw up that he did against the USA in the World Cup ruined him. Ruined his confidence. Ruined his reputation. Ruined him. I mean, you can't let go of a ball like that and go like a kitten.
The best teachers aren't the best players.
And then,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was egregious, but it was also fantastic for us, for me anyway, when I was watching that game.
Don't say us.
Well, for me, but I mean, I thought he was okay again after that. It wasn't. I mean, he came back.
He never got his confidence back. Never.
You don't think so?
No.
He
never got his confidence back.
When was he Hammer of the Year? He was Hammer of the Year at one point. I know he was.
Greeny? I don't think he was. Was he?
He was the last goalkeeper. I swear he was. Or runner-up. I swear. Because I was talking shit about Fabianski winning Hammer of the Year, saying the goalkeeper should win it. They're like, oh, Robert Green won it.
He won it in 2008.
I'm sorry. I just saw what Neil posted.
Yeah, this
is what we have to do. Perfect. Be nice and accessible for the people that are in the stands.
Yes. No, we have to get behind Roberto. That's the whole point.
His name is Ludo Mikosko. He comes from near Moscow.
Can we figure out what's up with Diop too? And how to put it, man?
He hasn't been that good.
What is he? $55 million guy was trying to sell to Man United, or what? Or is he the same guy from last season who will have a bad 4-week stretch and then he's so amazing again? It's just because of this pairing.
Well, Balbuena has been. I mean, he hasn't really even been in a Premier League game that I can think of. And apparently, he was trash against Oxford. Of course, everybody was. But so Agbana looks like a better choice there. But he's been spotty, hasn't he? I think he has. And I love him. I've always loved him. And he still makes these spectacular tackles from time to time. But then he makes, I go back to the
he loses concentration.
The game we won against, was it Manchester United or was it Norwich? I'm trying to remember. When he went in for this lunging tackle and got there about 4 seconds late, and the player had gone past him, and Declan had to go clean up, behind him. I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, again, the reason why I brought that up was just because it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter who we have as a goalkeeper if we have great defense, right? And if we have a shaky defense, which we've had ever since Sam Allardyce left, then we need a damn good goalkeeper, and Roberto is not it. So that means we need to step up our defense, right? So
yeah,
who is that?
we need a decent backup goalie. I don't think Roberto was it. I mean, I'm not gonna throw a dart at the geezer.
We can't sign one right now, you know. And by the time it's January, I mean, fucking Fabianski will be back. So
yeah, he should be. Yeah.
If Roberto gets hurt, I mean, they'll give us special dispensation to sign one.
You think so?
Yeah, they've done that in the past.
Really?
Yeah.
The pity signing, like a mercy signing.
You can't just have one goalie on your team.
They wouldn't just force them to recall the minor.
Right.
Well, that might happen, but you know,
they
better not. I'm just saying they could.
We have no choice now but to hope that Roberto is a competent keeper, and that, as you said, Tim, and I agree with you, that our defense shores itself up. Although we have kept a lot of clean sheets here lately, right? Let's not forget about that. And that hasn't all been Fabianski. I mean, it's only been the whole Oxford thing. One of the things that bothers me about what we did against Oxford is, again, I think losing is contagious. It's hard to get a winning streak started. It's easy to get a losing streak started. And I know we came out against Bournemouth and we got a really creditable draw that really was not a badly played match at all, actually.
We should have lost that match.
Well, I know we should have, and we didn't. And the fact that we didn't is encouraging to me.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime you go out and have a 4-0, I don't care if it's League Cup or what the attitude of the players is. It's bad for the morale of the club. It's bad for the form of the players. We had been keeping clean sheets. We had been knocking off, Manchester United, beating the Giants. We go out and we tank against Oxford, and all of a sudden it's like, well, now we look vulnerable.
With exception of City, we've been dominating possession every single match as well.
Yeah.
But now we're vulnerable, and we give up 2 goals.
But Oxford had like 17. We dominated possession, but they had like 17 shots on goal. No, on goal. Sorry, 17 shots. I can't remember what the shots on goal was, but that's what happens. We only had like 6 or something like that.
That's the problem I have with tanking the League Cup, is that you go out and tank a match and it becomes contagious and it shakes everybody's confidence.
It's Newport.
It's like same level of opposition. There's League One opposition, same level.
No, Newport's League 2, dude.
Are they League 2? Well, I don't know. All right, whatever. You know what? Do you think there's a huge gulf between Oxford and Newport? Probably not. But whatever. The point is, we have to get behind him. We have no choice. He's our guy.
We have choices, but unfortunately, nobody wants to take him.
The bigger question is it
Daniel Martin? Are you saying Daniel Martin?
I don't want to recall Trot as much as you don't want to play Martin. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
I would be scared to see Martin in the goal.
He's a better choice than Roberto. Is that what you're saying? You think Daniel Martin's a better choice than Roberto?
No.
He's a better choice than Trot.
Okay, that's fair. I'll accept that. But I mean, the point is, do we go with Roberto or not? Because
we have to. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. So it's either him or Daniel Martin. So I'm thinking Roberto's still a better option, personally.
I still like going with the rib man.
We got Carl Jenkinson around still. We got him kicking around. Can we loan him real quick?
Is he a professional footballer still?
No, he plays for like Forest or Middlesbrough or somebody. I don't
No
know.
idea what it is. Think it's
but dude, remember when he came in for was it Adrian or was it Johar? He came in.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, he did. You're right.
He played goalie for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes.
And he was pretty good.
Yeah, he did all right.
Yeah, he did all right. Yeah.
Anyway,
Let's get Shaka Hislop back. Most underrated goalkeeper ever that played for West Ham.
Also Hammer of the Year one season. Yes, and a really good keeper too.
And just got a great name. Shaka.
And I'll tell you what, you remember him in the World Cup. He had the clean sheet against England in the World Cup. I think it was a 0-0 draw with Trinidad.
Yeah, okay, don't rub it in.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm not rubbing it in. I mean, I like England, but that was 2006, I think, maybe. I think it's 2006. Yeah, where's he? Where's I don't know. Where's Bernard Lama? He played for
I'm not going to start panicking about the goalkeeper situation until we've lost a couple of games because of the goalkeeper situation.
Yeah, I'll take Wayne's advice and just move
Ride
on.
it.
And just
what's the point? Ride it and order an extra.
If our defense actually shows up,
Yeah.
on Saturday, then
Maybe that's what they need.
Roberto will look like Hammer of the Year.
Or maybe
Maybe this is what they need to say, okay, shoot, we don't have Fabianski back there with his wide forehead to knock the balls out with his head any longer.
our safety back there. Maybe we could win 4-3, right? Maybe we could score some goals. Win a thriller.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I really would.
We'd all love to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're right now we're playing your typical wannabe top four type of football, aren't we? Let's look at it. We're keep kicking the ball around until you get near the box or in the box. Keep kicking it around until you get a better shot.
Yeah, I like seeing. I like it. I like seeing what we're doing with the ball on offense. That's great.
What about that controlling the ball from LA? I mean, in Bournemouth with the Yarmolenko goal. I mean, that was just that was incredible.
Let me tell you, he had at least three opportunities.
Oh yeah,
to just fucking shoot the ball himself, and he chose to pass. Like, is Allaire a little too unselfish? That's all I kept thinking to myself watching that Bournemouth match was, why is he being so unselfish? Why is he being so unselfish? He could have, then he gave it to somebody else and they fucked it up. Oh no, he gave it to Fredericks. No, don't give it to Fredericks.
You know why, mate? Because he's always played the second striker, hasn't he?
That's true.
I know, man, but that sucks because but you know how good he is. Everybody knows how good he is.
But look how great he is at that hold-up play. I've not seen a West Ham player like that in ages.
Is he doing it too much?
It makes you realize how stupid we were thinking that the Austrian snake was a striker.
Yeah, that was.
Oh God, no. Yeah,
we were so stupid.
We haven't had a strike. Allaire's our first proper striker since Dean Ashton.
Yeah,
we're going back like 12, 15 years now. We haven't had a proper striker now.
This guy's he's a joy to watch. I mean, I love just watching him out there on the field. Because you can he tries everything. How many times has he tried a bicycle kick? I mean, every time he just doesn't care. He just strokes, and he's fit and he's strong and he's big.
He's a good version of Carlton Cole. He can actually play. And I love Carlton Cole. You know I love Carlton Cole, but he's Carlton Cole. He's Carlton Cole with skill. That's what he is. He's got skill. He's got the size. He's got the determination.
Power, but he's also got the soft touch. He needs
more confidence.
I do. I think that's his biggest flaw right now. Like the one thing that I would say he's sucking at is he's being a little too unselfish, a little too much. Just like throwing it back a little bit. And
here's the question of the evening.
I mean, from your keyboard to God's ears, Neil, because
I just finished reading that.
Sure.
So far away.
Let's have that problem. Let's please have that problem.
I hope to God we have that. I
really wish that. Listen, before the season started, when we actually signed Roberto, I was still upset with Fabianski for winning Hammer of the Year, and I kept saying, like, listen, this is Roberto.
You hated Fabianski last year.
During the summer, I said that Fabianski was going to get hurt and Roberto was actually going to play, and he was going to become Hammer of the Year. I said it was going to happen.
If Roberto keeps a clean sheet,
then I watched him play, and I'm like, oh Jesus.
If Roberto keeps a clean sheet in every match from now until Fabianski comes back, I will buy a Roberto shirt. That'll be my shirt that I buy for this season. And but it's not going to.
I'm with PJ. Right.
Yeah, well, you go with a hot hand.
And it's got nothing at all to do with the fact that she's hot. Hi, PJ.
PJ is our friend. PJ's in Kansas City.
No.
Kansas City is one of my favorite places. I love Kansas City. So PJ's a friend.
They barbecues as good as
Kansas City, and good night. So we're gonna have to wrap this up, just so you know, because I know we've only been going live for about 58 minutes, but it's past 10 o'clock and it's time for bed. So I have to work in the morning. Sorry, guys. Love you all.
Good night, John boy.
We don't have proper jobs like you. I just have to sit in front. I have to do.
Good night, Harry Mellon.
I have to
wake up
today. Sit in front of Goodbye, Brady Bunch.
But listen, see you later. I'll talk to you guys off. Yeah, listen, everybody, thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate it, and we have a lot more content on the way. A lot of new shows have been debuting this week. We did our first top 10 show on Monday, and Tuesday our Fantasy Premier League show is moving to Thursday night, so we'll be there tomorrow night for you. And Friday we got a new show called Friday Night Likes. We did have the West Ham Women's show. We Are the Girls in Claret and Blue earlier today, it's been getting better every single episode. I love it.
They're great.
And we have another new show coming out on Sunday and some more interviews on the way. I've finally been getting in contact with some more supporters groups that we've never even had on yet to get them to join us. Also want to announce that during the international break, we're going to be debuting our first partnership with Hammers Brazil. They're going to be doing a show on our channel in Portuguese. So
do you have to get waxed for that one, Tim?
that'll be good. No, it'll be good because it's going to pretty much be like our deal. Like, we would interview someone. Well, they're going to interview someone from like a Hammer supporter from Brazil, and do the same thing, but just mirror it. It'll be kind of fun, kind of cool.
Half of you should tune in for that one, Tim.
I know. You're right. Somerville and
like Fall River and Framingham. Yeah.
There's so many groups all over the globe that we're in talks with to do some stuff on our channel. I
love it.
Yeah, and a lot of cool stuff on the way. And our shop will be opening up soon. And let me tell you, it's not the bonfire thing. It's even better. It's got a lot more cool stuff. So be excited for that. I've been harassing Roughneck lately and asking them what the hell's up with their scarves and where are they. And they assured me that they will be shipping out on October 4th from them to me. And then I have to
send them out,
ship them all out all over the place. So I would say they'll be somewhere, I don't know, October 7th to 8th, somewhere around there. You'll get your hands on one, hopefully. But yeah, they're already produced. They're just waiting to be shipped. And
there's a lot going on, Tim.
There's a lot more. I just don't have the time.
It's enough to drive a person to drink. And then again, West Ham is why I drink.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got your podcast going on there.
That segue was mint. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's the best at it. So check them out.
No, I'm gonna make him spit his drink out before we go. He's
got a good show. Also, So American Hammers Radio does have 2 new shows coming out late tonight, early tomorrow morning, as well as West Ham is Why We Drink. You can check that out on their wherever they're at. They're all over the place.
You should listen to the recent episode that we did, Tim, because we got you on it.
What are you talking about?
On West Ham is Why We Drink.
Wow.
We mentioned you.
Oh.
Because we talked about Tompkins.
Oh.
Oh.
There you go. So yeah, I should drink for that. But yeah. Thank you. I actually mentioned it in the chat today in the West Ham Women's Show, and I was saying that Brooke Hendricks is my James Tompkins, of the women's team. So
we got to get her back. I want to get the women's players back on at some point.
Actually, they came up with the idea during the show today that we should get her mom, who's a massive West Ham supporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I want to talk about next time.
Yeah, man. What's going on, man? We put out your podcast tonight. Yeah, that's Kevin from Columbus C13. So next debate show next week. Let's talk about this. When do we stop being happy that we have a women's team and start getting angry when they lose? Seriously.
Because they lost in their big match on Sunday, and I've got to tell you, I love them and they're great people. I love the women's, but I was disappointed, really disappointed. I can't just watch. So
I don't have enough animosity in my body to get angry at the women's team.
Well, okay. I mean, maybe we should.
No, we should.
I think we should. It was because we love them. Because we love them. That's what.
We will, and it'll grow for everybody. Eventually. But in the meantime, just make sure everybody tunes into that show on Wednesdays with Reese and Allie. They're doing awesome, and hopefully, if you help them by buying some of their shirts with. We Are the Girls in Claret and Blue shirts we're going to be putting out in our new shop. We're going to use that money to help, give them a better microphone or, do things like that for them so that this show can be, even more enjoyable. And that goes with all of our shows across the board. If you buy merchandise that has to do with that particular show, that money is going to go directly toward, making sure that, the hosts have the correct, microphones or, cameras or whatever to make everything the viewing experience better. Yeah. So and let's
or to get rid of my double chin.
Yeah. That's why give him a Bic. Get me one. Get me. So how about we buy someone to shave my face for me because I don't like doing it.
I don't like doing it either. You know what I hate to shave more than my face?
Oh, God. All right. Come on, you irons. All right. Have a good night. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
I'm out of here quick. Get me out.